They did so in game one after these Knicks went 0 for 4 against Boston in the regular season. Certainly, Randy, Jason Tatum and the Celtics aren't going to blow another 20-point lead. First, they got to get a 20-point lead, and here it comes. Kristaps Porzingis, 3 minutes to go in the third, so the lead is 20. The Celtics are 40-2 this season when leading by 20 or more. Regular season or the playoffs. Off of the miss, here come the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, got it. That's actually his first shot made. He was 0 for in the first 3 quarters. And now it's a 7-point lead for the Celtics. Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum. Wide open look. Gotta be cash. Nope. At one point, the Celtics missed 13 straight shots in the fourth quarter, tied for their longest streak in the fourth quarter of a playoff game since 1998. They were 10 for 40 from three-point land. Meanwhile, Josh Hart, he's going to hit that. That's close proximity. The Knicks are down by 5. They've been in a hole this whole game. They've never had the lead, but they're about to get one. Karl-Anthony Towns with the putback, 21 points, 17 boards. The deficit is 1. The deficit is none. Ooh. Who else but Jalen Brunson with 2 minutes left in the fourth? Yes, Mr. Clutch in clutch time, giving the Knicks their first lead of the game. Jaylen Brown misses. Derek White misses the putback. So now the Knicks are on the break again, and it's Brunson. Through 3 Celtics defenders, if that's what you want to call them, 89-86, the Knicks have the lead. They outscored Boston 23-6 in the last 8.5 minutes of this game. 20 seconds to go. Jason Tatum. Okay, those are shots you're more likely to make. Finishing at the rim. Jalen Brunson, 17 points in this game, 9 of them in the fourth quarter. He's going to add a couple from the foul line right now with 12 seconds to go, giving the Knicks a 1-point lead. Here we go. Boston has a timeout that they can call to set something up. 10 seconds, still got the timeout. Jason Tatum, though, gonna do it himself. Trying to kick out to Jaylen Brown, but instead, it's Mikal Bridges. Again, remember, he stole the ball from Jaylen Brown, failed to get a shot off to the Celtics in game 1, and then it's Bridges playing hero again in game 2. And that's how the Knicks are gonna come back again from another 20-point deficit to take game 2 on the road. The fans outside of MSG going absolutely nuts as the Knicks are taking with them a 2-0 lead in this best of 7. The Celtics win probability peaked at 99.1% according to ESPN Analytics, but another awful fourth quarter cost them. Boston at one point missed those 13 straight shots in the fourth quarter last night. They're 9 of 45 from the field in the fourth quarter of this series. That's the worst fourth quarter field goal percentage over a 2-game span in the playoffs. We haven't seen that since the 2008 Spurs. What you're seeing right now is Brian Windhorst, who was covering the game, covering this series. Wendy, take us inside the Celtics locker room after another 20-point lead evaporates in game 2.
Gary, they don't seem to understand what's happening. They're not making shots. Anybody can see that. But they feel like they're working their process. Now, Jaylen Brown said that this situation is inexcusable. You get up by 20 points and then don't win back-to-back games. You just cannot tolerate that. Now, that is obvious. The problem is what to do about it, because they're almost like a chef that has made a recipe 1,000 times. This time they're putting all the ingredients in and they're taking it out of the oven and it's not cooked, because they do like most of the shots they're getting. This has been their process. You may disagree with them taking this many three-pointers, but this process led them to a championship and 61 wins and the higher seed in this series. But the process is not working right now. They're shooting 25% from three-point range, and they love their looks. So they're doing some soul searching, but I don't know if they're equipped to completely change the way they're playing. And I think the biggest concern about this, I'm not even sure the Knicks have played that great yet. Sure. And also, Kristaps Porzingis, he said after the game last night that he has had a big crash. Those are his words, as he's recovering from this illness from earlier this season when he missed 8 games. He said he was managing it well, but his energy has crashed. They did not start him last night, I think because they were worried about fatigue. He had some moments, but one of the ways out of dealing with so much stress on the guard shooting would be to run stuff through Porzingis. I don't know if he's equipped to do that right now, and he said this coming up at this time of the season is killing him.
Wow, that's monstrous, and those numbers are jarring. The Celtics have taken literally 100 three-pointers in the first 2 games, and they've only hit 25 of them. That is that 25%. Meanwhile, the other locker room must have been jumping. What were the Knicks saying about that game and that final defensive stop yet again from Mikal Bridges?
praise all over the place for Mikal Bridges and also Mitch Robinson, because the Celtics elected to run the same play twice in a row. One time it leads to an easy Jason Tatum dunk. The second time, Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby changed up the way they defended it. They dropped their defense back to take away Tatum's advantage and were able to force Tatum left, which is exactly what they want. They want Tatum to go left into the Bridges side of the basketball so he can help off of it. And I asked OG, I said, did you and Robinson talk about this? And he said there was no time. We just had to innately believe if the Celtics ran the same play, we had to defend it differently. They did it. Those are two excellent defenders. The defense worked.
All right, now it's just a change of scenery. Different gardens, though, from Boston to MSG. All right, that's the Eastern Conference. Let's go to the Western Conference for a moment, Wendy. Steph Curry is going to miss at least a week with a left hamstring strain from that Game 1 win over the Timberwolves. It's the first muscle strain of Curry's career. His return to the court will be based on how he responds to rehab. Okay, cautiously optimistic maybe are the Warriors. So Wendy, why should the Dubs and their fan base remain optimistic, if you're saying so, despite this injury?
Well, let's just take into consideration that Curry coming down with his first hamstring injury of his career in the middle of the playoffs is a terrible turn of events. Once you move past that, look at what the Warriors have going for them. Number one, they're up 1-0, okay? Let's not forget that. Secondly, Buddy Hield has been hot. He's got 14 three-pointers his last 2 games. You know that the Wolves are going to focus on him, but he is sort of playing the understudy role of Steph Curry. How long can he do that? Well, you know, he sometimes gets hot for a while. He was hot for the first month of the season. The other thing is they have this spot in this schedule, this series, where after Game 5, there are 3 days off. That would potentially give Curry more than a week. Now, nobody knows how Curry's hamstring is going to feel next Friday. I don't know. Nobody knows. But at least if you have that, you have a little bit of window. He might be able to come back. So the Warriors are obviously dealing with a very bad blow of fortune here, but there are ways that they might be able to crawl past it.
All right, tonight's going to be the first time the Warriors play a playoff game without Curry since Game 1 of the 2018 Western Conference semifinals. That is Brian Windhorst. Wendy, much appreciated. Nobody better than you.
All right, nobody better than the OKC Thunder this season, certainly in the Western Conference. Game 2 of their semifinal series with that man, the dad bod god, Nikola Jokic, taking on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Quiet Canadian assassin working on Jamal. Oh, that's, you know what? That's a proper dust up north of the border. You know, that's Canadian on Canadian crime.
Yeah.
We're sorry about that.
A lot of pleasantries exchanged, like probably literally.
The big maple, blue arrow, just going to score that bucket there. And then Isaiah Joe splashing a 3. Thunder plus 24 in the first quarter. Their best in any quarter in team history. SGA working on his 4th straight 30-point game. No points for Aaron Gordon there. Chet Holmgren blocked him twice. And then Cason Wallace back the other way. Chet, 15 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 34 Thunder points off of turnovers by Denver. It was 66-38. That was Aaron Wiggins, one of 8 Thunder in double figures. Jokic said basically it was one team playing tonight. He was minus 36, worst of any game in his career. Fouled out in the 3rd quarter. SGA to Jalen Williams. SGA, he had 8 dimes, 34 points. The Thunder 1-4.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you like the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.